Yeah. All right.
Episode 30.
Yep.
We really did that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There were so many haters.
So many haters.
I don't know if there were any haters.
They said it couldn't be done.
Yeah, they spat on our face.
They said these guys will not get 30 episodes.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are. We're bringing in like 7,000 a month for this podcast. Is that what we're doing?
Well, yeah, 7 and change. 73, 7,400.
Yeah.
No guests. No
guests.
What was
after last time? We just couldn't do that again. No, last episode was great.
What was his
name?
Featuring the director? Is that what it was? Or
I think I marked it up as the editor.
The editor,
as he edits.
Yes. So the editor is on sabbatical. The baby is on sabbatical.
Mm-hmm.
I have notes for this week's episode. Unfortunately, I didn't remove them after the last one. And so I don't...
Oh, some of the previous... I'll let you know. I have a keen sense of memory, I think.
Keen sense of memory.
I have one on my head.
Yeah,
like,
let's...
a note, but...
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
Ooh, almost 4:20.
What's that? That's what time it is?
You wouldn't get it. Anyway,
yeah.
So do you feel like you can tell the difference between
a rock and a snowball?
Not quite.
Yes. Oh,
I'm talking about orange, mandarin, and tangerine.
I don't eat a ton of any of those.
Yeah.
Though, do you know the little cuties?
Mm-hmm. Clementines.
Those were clementines.
But they're like, cuties, halos. I feel like there's other brands, but they're all clementines, I think.
That's really
That's
interesting. Right? That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference. But I would be able to tell the difference, for example, between an orange and, I don't know, a medium rare sirloin steak.
Okay, that's good.
I think I would be able to tell the difference between those two things.
What are some things you would look for? Let's say if you were trying to spot out the steak between those two obviously different items, what would you look for?
Temperature.
Oh, okay.
Texture.
And you would feel like, would you use your finger to feel this out, or?
Oh, I assumed like I'm blindfolded.
Okay.
And probably somebody is feeding me the bite.
Oh, okay.
Is that not what you had in mind? You think I'm looking at the two?
Orange steak. And I'm like, huh?
I thought this was a taste test. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, it's a little less obvious that way, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, okay. How do you like your? Do we want to keep doing this?
What?
I don't know. It's just dumb.
Well, so I, in jest, said I'd be able to tell the difference between a steak and an orange because obviously.
Yeah.
And then you asked me.
Yeah.
How?
What would you look for?
So then I took that question seriously and actually thought, if I'm blindfolded, what are the... Because it's so obvious if you take a bite. If you're fed a bite, you know immediately what's what. But how do you know the difference?
Oh, we're trying to get to the science of it.
What is the very first thing that...
First of your five senses to like trigger you?
It probably is the heat. Has to be the heat of the steak versus the cool, like...
What if the steak was raw?
So then I guess it would...
What if they're the same temperature? What then?
If they were the exact same temperature, then it would either be texture or taste. But you have to imagine...
Honestly, I feel like initial taste between a raw steak and just an orange are like...
You think it's going to be similar? You think it's going to be...
I don't think they would be like as different as you might think.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. I think the orange would definitely be tart. I feel like the steak would almost taste like... I feel like raw steak wouldn't have that much taste.
It's so funny that you... Unless it's been seasoned. It's so funny
right.
that you said
That makes me nervous.
It's so funny that you say
No, like
that that's kind of sick. It's funny that you say that the flavor would not be so immediately distinguishable, because I was thinking that the texture would not be so immediately distinguishable.
Oh.
I'm thinking that maybe a raw piece of steak
Yeah.
might be kind of chewy, like an orange
Right.
or a mandarin,
yeah.
a clementine, tangerine,
Grapefruit.
Okay.
Turmeric.
Do you think you'd be able to tell the difference between a tangerine and a tambourine?
They're both circles.
They're both round.
I feel like we're doing like an episode for PBS or something.
This is actually the stupidest conversation I've ever had.
I did want to, yeah, and that's why I was like, do we want to keep doing this?
Do you actually want to do this right now?
But yeah, the segue out of this is how do you like your steak cooked?
I would say probably medium. I don't like it because I'll often have leftovers, and leftovers I almost never heat up. Mm-hmm. I almost always eat my leftovers cold.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sick like that. I'm nasty like that. I'm
Feral.
twisted. I'm feral like that.
Just a very primal way to go.
You just eat it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking with a steak, and I've found this to be the case, that if it still is pink in the middle, the more pink it is in the middle, the more it is like you're eating raw meat, and it's not good.
Oh, especially cold.
Exactly. So I like a medium. I like there to be a little bit of pink, a little bit of juicy, but not a whole ton.
If you had to eat a medium rare steak, actually,
So a little bit more pink.
yeah. If you had to eat, like, choose between like a rare steak, let's just go full rare, versus a well done steak, what would you do?
Do I have sides? Appetizers?
Sure.
I don't want them.
Okay. Let's take them out then.
So I'm only eating the steak. That way I know I'll finish it and I won't have... The leftover conversation is not in play.
Yeah.
I'll take it rare.
It's a little, yeah.
Because I think rare, when it's hot, tastes better. And then when it's, like, well done, it's, like, sometimes too tough or chewy. Like, I feel like I'm almost, at that point, eating...
You're teething or something.
Yeah. Like, my jaw starts to hurt and everything.
Yeah.
I, like, have the same bite in my mouth for, like, 15 minutes trying to get it, like... minced enough to swallow.
Just pulverized.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. You know,
I think medium or medium rare is my preferred.
Yeah, medium. Yeah. I'm a medium guy. So,
yeah,
we for sure talked about the block of ice at 33 degrees Fahrenheit.
We did, yeah. And looking back, I was editing like the foot to make sure that the baby was censored. So like I heard the whole conversation. And there were like a few times in that episode where something just went over my head. And like, yeah, I think I didn't know what the freezing temperature was.
That's insane.
So what was the temperature?
You're one of the smartest people I know.
Am I?
On paper.
On paper. Okay.
In person, the exact opposite.
Okay.
You're one of the dumbest people I know.
How can you give me examples outside of this
conversation? How you're dumb?
Yes. Oh, man. Let me defend myself.
Totally.
Defend my honor.
What is the grammatical error that you used to always make that I corrected? To the point where, like, I think you got it under control.
I still don't know if I got it under control. I think it was like him and I, or like her and I are going to go to the thing, but you're like, you should say her and me are going to go to the thing.
No, yeah, you got it opposite.
Yeah, and see, I don't get that. That doesn't make sense. What? We need to think of examples, but I think that was what that was.
So there's something like that, and there's also stuff like, I feel like it's always going to be something like the not knowing that 32 degrees is freezing. level, but it is hard for me to think of like an example off the top of my head. What?
Because it's not true. It's false.
But I feel like it might have something to do with like a social cues kind of, because like maybe some of the things that you do that I say are dumb are not actually dumb by definition. You just sound like an idiot.
It was like if like a statement was like a cloak and dagger or something. It was like so appealing, and then you're like, you just sound like an idiot. Like, jeez. That's funny.
And everyone thinks this?
We've been trying to tell you. It's just...
No, you're not. So, like, for example, when you tell a story.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
You always leave it in such a flat...
I don't know how to... I've gotten better, but, like, I still don't... Yeah.
Yeah, it would be something like that. And then obviously on paper, like what was your GPA like for most of your, probably in the 3/4s, right?
Not that of one who, yeah, it was okay.
Oh, you didn't have like straight A's?
No, not in high school.
Really?
Interesting. Yeah, no, in college, yes.
Right.
Somewhat.
So in college, I think I had straight F's.
Oh.
But also for sort of a lack of motivation, what the hell am I going to college for? I don't even know what I want to do, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. And why do you feel like you... Let's just assume I still don't know how to tell a story. Why do you think you know how to tell a story and I don't?
That is such a good question. I don't know.
I think it comes down to training, but like, how do you get that training? It's not like official training, but it's just like your environment.
It almost feels like, well, it felt like with your stories, it always would end in us, the audience, saying, then what?
Yeah.
So I guess it all comes down to just the ending of the story. Because it wouldn't be like, oh, Noble told a bad story. It's Noble's story fizzled out.
I don't know. And I think like me going it, like reflecting on my stories, I think it was just me like wanting to tell someone something that happened.
So
but
it
like,
isn't necessarily even supposed to be a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, when you tell someone something that happened to you, that's a story.
Right.
So like, whether I liked it or not,
it was
supposed to be I don't know.
I think that like the crazy part, the reason you're telling the story, has to be like the last thing that happens.
And I did it backwards or something.
Something like that, or maybe even there's supposed to be some like falling action, like, so this guy did this crazy thing, and then I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And then it just kind of fizzled out and went away. Like maybe you told the crazy thing that happened at the end of the story, and then it's like, and then what? Like what was the fallout because of that? What was the
effect?
Yeah.
In conclusion.
Right.
That part.
It's so weird because you can't even like...
I guess I had the intro and body, but after that...
Maybe not a conclusion. Maybe you just missed... Maybe you were missing a conclusion all along.
Mayhaps.
That's so interesting. And I don't know that... I don't claim to be like a good storyteller.
But you're capable.
I'm capable of it.
You can do that.
And, you know, like... And then there's also like... I don't know, like... It's so hard for us to like remember each and every detail of an event.
Yes.
So then you're like filling in blanks with like your own little interpretations or like just your own little details. You're almost like fictionalizing the thing that actually did happen to make it more interesting And you're not even necessarily meaning to do that. You're just like filling in gaps because either you don't remember something or you remember something wrong. You know?
Yes.
Like, have you ever told a story and somebody else who was there was like, no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Like,
I feel like I've never gotten that far.
Fair enough.
But, like, I've witnessed that.
Because, like...
Or, like, I've wanted to do that.
It's very possible that both people are right. Because human memory is so faulty and weird like that. Like, I got a friend up the street who, like, we grew up together. And we would be like, I would be telling a story... Or he would be, and it would be like, no, that was me. Or, no, I said this or whatever. And it's like, no, that was me. But, like...
I think it also, like, the further you get away from it...
The harder it is to remember.
What actually happened,
Yeah.
Would he want to be on here someday?
Huh?
This unknown person.
What did you say? I just didn't hear you.
Oh, would your buddy want to be on here someday, you think?
Probably.
Perhaps.
I don't even know if I've ever asked him. And then what would his stage name be?
Does he have any hobbies?
A question for another day, huh? Forget him.
Sure.
We talked about the block of ice, but it seems there was something about that you were missing on the day.
That was like the temperature freezing, right?
Right. So if the block of 32 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing for water...
It was like, what if you stored a block of ice
at 1 degree above
33 degree refrigerator? 33 degrees. Yeah.
So we don't have to rehash this.
Yeah. But I get it now. I'd like to
think. If it's like a super dense block of ice, I wonder how long it takes to melt. It has to be a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would like to know if someone's put that to the test.
And I'm sure they have, like...
I feel like you could put it to the test if you had, like, a spare fridge.
Right, if I really wanted to.
You could make a block of ice.
Yeah, and I totally could, and it'd be easy. But at the end of the day, I just don't give a shit. Isn't that something?
We could make a video out of it.
Isn't that really something? If opening someone's mail is a federal crime, should going through someone's phone be as well? Yes. Did we talk about Invincible?
I think we just like
brushed over
established common shows that we've watched, and like we had like a little, because like you and I have seen Breaking Bad. That was it. That was our common show. Steve and I, Severance. You and Steve, Invincible.
Steve had never seen Breaking Bad?
No.
That's crazy to me.
Very bizarre.
Yeah. To be fair, I only just watched Breaking Bad like over this past summer.
Yeah.
Or maybe fall or something. I didn't watch it for a long time. I have a thing, and this is me. This is a me problem, but I don't like the things that everybody is constantly talking about.
Okay.
Post Malone, I never listened to until it was like his third album. Then I'm like, oh, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
But when he's blowing up and everybody's always talking about him.
Ooh, yes.
I don't like it.
Yeah. So are you talking about like 2018, 2019? You weren't
was
for
not
that.
in.
Yeah.
I wasn't in.
Yeah.
Same thing. Okay, so and then the opposite of that, Lorde had that song Royals that came out.
Something in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You nailed that.
Thank you.
And I'm like, this is a really good song. This Lorde lady is awesome.
Okay.
And then she blew up. I heard this song, and this was the song that blew her up, maybe, I think. I heard that song before I knew who she was.
Yeah.
And then she blew up, and then everybody was constantly talking about her, and then I don't want anything to do with her.
Ooh.
Isn't that something? I don't know what my problem is. So the same thing was like that for Breaking Bad.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You just needed the hype to die down.
I needed everybody to shut the hell up about it. Stop telling me to watch it. Stop telling me it's the greatest show of all time. Then I watch it, and I find, guess what? It's the greatest show of all time.
Nice.
It's the best show I've ever seen.
Okay. Yeah.
because there's the argument about The Wire, I think, is one that people talk about. I never saw that.
I've never seen
The Sopranos, which I've also heard is like not even worth getting into now because it's dated, what have you. Invincible is a show that's based off of a comic series by Robert Kirkman, the same writer who wrote The Walking Dead.
Yes. And
the show is really good, but I'm not caught up. The comic, I read the entire thing, and it was like 150-ish issues.
Oh. I thought you were going to say pages, and then I was going to be like, that's not that long of a series.
No, there's 3 compendiums that are about that big.
Okay. Question.
So it's quite a...
How deep was like season 1, you think?
How deep?
Was it like a half compendium or?
Oh, they've released it a few times in different ways. And one of them was in volumes.
Ooh.
That were, I want to say, like 12 or 13 issues.
Okay.
I think the first season is kind of like that. But there's also filler from the comics that they omit in the show. And there's also things that don't happen in the comics that they add to the show.
Nice.
Because I don't remember when he wrote it, when he started writing it, but some of the stuff was a little dated.
Isn't it cool how like they do that?
What's that?
Like, I feel like every like book to movie or like comic to TV show adaptation, that's always the case. I feel like something's like either taken away or it's added in.
Right.
And is that because like are they doing it for the sake of being different, or is this like their opportunity to like change something they like regret?
I think it's all that. I think it is like an opportunity to change something that is dated, maybe not even something that they regret, but something that was fine at the time that isn't now. You know, that kind of thing. And then there was like no black characters, or very few black characters in the comic.
Okay.
There was like a few heroes and like almost no one else. So they make a few characters. They just change like some little they make racial tweaks,
swaps,
little racial swaps that are like more inclusive to some other races, which is good. And some people are like, "Oh, they made Amber black. Why would they make Amber black?" Well, Amber's not real, you know? So it doesn't really matter.
Sure.
And then I think it also is a way to sort of make existing fans, to surprise existing fans, because if they don't make little tweaks and changes, then I know exactly what happens in every episode of the show.
There's no sense of unpredictability.
It makes the show not worth watching.
Yeah.
So, and if you watch the show versus having read the comics, you get the same story told to you. But if you do one and then the other, it still is able to surprise you in ways. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's not the same story verbatim, but the overarching is like mostly the same.
You don't know which one it is?
Oh, this is my favorite face you've ever made. So, anyway, I read all of The Walking Dead. And
all of it?
All of it.
I didn't know that.
This was a couple of years ago now, or a year or two. And then I read all of Invincible.
Yeah. Ooh. Are you like trying to have like a comic shelf?
I kind of have the comic shelf that I want now.
Okay.
This was all before the baby was born, and when I had time to like really sit down and read a comic for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't really have that kind of time now. I could maybe, if a new series started right now, and I could read an issue a month the way it is normally done.
Oh, okay.
I might be able to justify that.
Find time, yeah.
Yeah. But then I would be like, fuck, now I gotta wait another month for the next issue or whatever. So.
Couldn't binge it.
Either because I don't have the time or because it's not all out. Is that making sense?
Yeah, for sure. Dude. Is that coming through to you?
Invincible, I was like, I want to say like a year or two ago, I was reading a bunch of different comics. I was like, I read all of pretty much anything that they've adapted to a show or a movies. So, except for Marvel, anything that wasn't Marvel or DC that was adapted. So I read all of The Boys.
Oh.
I read all of The Walking Dead. I read all of Invincible. I read Kick-Ass.
Okay.
And
that were comics, you're saying?
Comics, yeah.
Okay.
And it's not even close. Invincible's the best one.
Yeah.
It's the best one by far.
Have you like watched The Boys?
I have watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay.
The final season is supposed to come out in the next year, I want to say.
Yeah,
Either
they're
this year or
definitely like
next year.
in production.
Yeah, and I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
Because by the time that comes out, I've already forgotten what happens.
Yes, that's
so
true.
I'd rather wait till it's all out and watch the whole thing.
Makes sense.
Just like I did with Breaking Bad.
Yeah. It do be nice when everything's already out.
Yeah. Invincible is the best by far. The Boys was really good too, but the show, it's one of the rare instances where the show is actually a lot better than the comic.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. The comic was good, and it was shocking, and it was like, holy shit, somebody drew this, you know? Like,
yeah.
But there is drama, and there's like conspiracy, and it's pretty intense at times, but
I feel like every episode they like blackmail someone.
Something
like, I got this on you.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
If you don't do this, then I'll reveal it.
Carl Urban is that? Yeah, he's like one of my favorite. Carl Urban as Billy Butcher is like one of my favorite characters throughout media.
Yeah.
Like he's awesome. Diabolical.
Oi, oi. Oi.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that guy. He's also in The Lord of the Rings. He's also in
I feel like
Thor.
he's just been like
around for a very long time.
And like he doesn't look that much older.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings came out, I think the first one was like 2000 at least, maybe 1999.
Yeah.
Might be wrong, but I think it was just 2000.
That feels right to me.
Yeah. But like that was like 25 years ago.
Yeah, and he looks the exact same.
It's a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay.
Why do you like enjoy stuff when other people don't? Or when they're done enjoying it?
I think 2 reasons.
Yeah.
I love people. These few people, these couple people, that person.
What about that guy over there?
But I hate everyone. And when it feels like everyone is talking about something, first of all, the things that I really like the most are like shunned, or people don't care for it or even know about it. And like everyone's like, when 21 Pilots was huge, I would hear their songs and I thought, these are terrible songs.
Yeah.
And it was like their best songs were ones that no one even cared about. They like the ones that are like, wish we could turn back time. It's like, this is terrible, you know?
My car radio.
And I'm like, why does everybody like the worst version of this thing? You know?
Yeah.
Or like my favorite music is like alternative rock. Your Linkin Parks, your 3 Days Graces, your Disturbeds, and like everyone else would rather listen to freaking Beyonce's country album. and I'm like, man, you know, why? Why do you guys like the bad things so much more than the good thing? So I think the more people you get,
Yeah.
the more stupid your group of people is getting.
Okay.
Is that making sense?
Kind of. I mean, here's an example of something that I like that's like mainstream and like overplayed on the radio.
Okay.
And like I've talked to people and they're like, oh, like I feel like I'm getting the vibe from them that I'm getting from you. We're like, oh, it's overplayed.
Right.
Like, wow,
it's overrated. It's terrible.
Like Dua Lipa, you know?
Who's that?
Dua Lipa with the baby make them want to dance when they come on. Everybody got a dance floor that they run on.
I don't even know what that is at all. So I've heard the name Dua Lipa.
If you want to run away with me, something.
That sounds.
You want
familiar.
me? I want you, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a song of hers.
Yeah. You also got like these other two that are like Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan.
Yeah, and like I feel like I'm like resistant to them.
They're huge right now, but every time I hear like a little snippet, which is all I'm gonna hear because I'm not seeking them out. I don't listen to the radio. I don't scroll on TikTok. So the only times that I will hear it is if someone is listening to it or if it's playing in an ad for something that I'm watching. And I'm always like, oh, this is pretty good. You know, like I don't hate it. I don't think it's better than the things that I like.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I don't hate a thing just because everybody likes it. I'm resistant to a thing because I don't trust that everybody is giving me. I think that the masses are giving me a skewed idea of like how it actually is. And then I also am like if everybody's like, this is brilliant, this is great, this is perfect, this is the best, and then I listen to it, I'm listening to it expecting that or watching it expecting that, and then it's inevitably gonna fail to meet that.
Yes.
You know,
I think going into something with like no expectations, at least if like you're looking to enjoy something, that's the best way to do it. You know, like competition.
Yeah.
You want to have like a game plan, but like in terms of like consuming media or songs, you don't want any hype.
Right.
I feel like.
So I still haven't seen like Oppenheimer because nobody would shut the hell up about it.
Yeah.
But now people aren't really talking about it, and I'd be down to watch it, but it's also 3+ hours or something like that.
I don't know how long it was, but it was
long.
Yeah.
I also just watched The Lord of the Rings recently.
Okay.
I liked those a lot.
Was this your first time seeing them?
Mm-hmm. I watched all the Lord of the Rings and all the Hobbits.
Really?
And people are like, "Oh, the Hobbit is way worse. The Hobbit's bad."
Yeah.
You know, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Did you start with the Hobbits?
No, and I wish that I had.
Yeah.
But you know, the Lord of the Rings is 3 big books. The Hobbit is one small children's book.
Yeah, like the third Hobbit movie is like 5 pages.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
It's so strange.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, but I like. That's not to say like I was always on the Harry Potter bandwagon. You know, like I don't know.
What's your favorite Harry Potter movie?
Either The Goblet of Fire, because that's when like shit is like you're feeling like shit is actually hitting the fan. Voldemort comes back. He friggin' straight slays. And don't even think about saying Diggory. Cedric Diggory.
Mickey 1.
Sorry?
You'll get it.
Mickey
I don't know. There's a movie called Mickey 17 that's out. And Robert Pattinson.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
That's, as soon as I said you'll get it, I'm like.
Just pure silence while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's when shit really hits the fan. And then also the Deathly Hallows 1 and 2. I kind of sort of lump them together because it's
one book,
one storyline, one book.
Yeah.
And because that's when it's like your climax, everything comes to a head. Everything that's going to happen is happening now. You know, like the thing that this is all leading up to.
Very rewarding.
Harry Potter versus Voldemort. You know, Harry sees Snape's sacrifice after like these like whatever it is 6 long years where these two just hate each other so bad, but really everything Snape ever did was for Harry's mom. You know, I thought that's like a really beautiful kind of thing. It's a little f***ed up in a way. Because it's like this lady's married. You're actually just kind of being a stalker.
You're kind of being weird, yeah.
But it's love, you know, what are you going to do? So, I would say that those are probably my faves. What do you think?
Okay. I thought, yeah.
What's your
said
fave?
A few. I like the Half-Blood Prince a lot. That's the 6th one. That's
where he finds the book, the spell book, and he's like, he does like the Sectum Sempra or something, and he's like getting cuts all over.
To Draco.
Malfoy's getting cuts all over.
Yeah. But also, I think I might be a little biased because like that was like the first one I saw in theaters. You know.
Interesting.
So
it's funny that you say that because Goblet of Fire might have been the first one that I watched, or the first one that I watched in theaters.
Yeah. Really.
Possibly.
I want to say that came out in 2004.
That's interesting. Because I almost think it was 2006. But I think I'm wrong.
I don't know if you're wrong because I'm going to be bold. I know. Oops. Shoot.
But
3605.
Yeah, I think I dropped one at 33, but I don't know. So I had seen all the Harry Potters up until that point, but always on cassette or DVD.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever been to Universal
Studios?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Woo. I'm broke. And I've always been. I've never not been. Universal. Do I look like a realtor to you? Or a doctor?
No.
A lawyer? Or do I look like a painter? Because if I do, yeah, it's that one. It really is that one. No, I've never been. Oh. I've never been to Disney World either. I have been to Six Flags.
That's cool. Yeah. Cedar Point?
Cedar Point.
What is that face?
Cedar Point? I don't think so.
Yeah.
What's Cedar Point? I'm pretty sure that's like a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah, it's kind of like by Alcatraz. It's no, you're thinking of what's the one out here?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, we're thinking of it. No, Cedar Point is, I think, the best theme park for thrill rides on Earth.
Where is it?
It's in Sandusky, Ohio.
That's interesting because like that feels like a destination that is actually obtainable.
Yeah,
I'm not going to because when you said I'm thinking San Diego. I'm not going there anytime soon. Mm-hmm. You know? But Ohio, I can get in my car and I can be there by tomorrow.
It seems like much more affordable.
Definitely. Even so, obviously, the trip there is going to be more affordable because it's so much closer.
Yeah.
And then also,
it's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's a less prestigious.
Yeah.
Place to be.
There's no like movie brands like backing it.
Right. They're not like jacking up the price on everything just because of the location that it is.
There's no like Mario meals.
Right.
Or they have like a Mario World now. Yeah,
is it Mario World or is it Nintendo World?
I guess it's Nintendo World. But like it looks
perfect.
I feel like it's only Mario though.
Right.
But yeah, I see why they call it that though.
When I learned about that place, it was only in Japan.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm vacationing to Japan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Nintendo World. And then they started opening them up in the US. Where
I think that's also Universal. Universal is like
everything.
I feel like it used like Disney World used to be like the top dog, but now like Universal, they made the Harry Potter land. They made I guess the Nintendo World.
The thing that sucks is like it's not even worth going to because it's going to be so crowded and so many people.
You got to wait till not everyone likes it at the same time for you to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow. And it all comes back to that.
That's right.
It really does all come back to that. Man, we took Daisy to the park today.
Sure.
And the running joke in my life is like, if I had my way, I'd be sitting around playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
But Jess is a free spirit.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to go out. She likes to go to your parks, your attractions, your mini golfs.
Mm-hmm.
And I like all those things too.
But you're not going to plan that.
I don't usually plan it because most of the time I'd rather just chill.
Yeah.
And so we went to the park today and Daisy loved it. We put her on the swing. We put some backing behind her. It's like one of those round swings that has like
I saw it on her store, like the yeah.
And we put some we stuffed like a blanket and a jacket behind her so that there was not any like space for her to flop around and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
She loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen the girl so happy for such a long time.
Yeah.
And Jess was like so happy. She's like, she loves it. We're going to be at the park all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just wait till she starts playing video games. She's going to love that even more. And that's the running joke. My goal, obviously, is to have a good balance between the two things. Because that's how I was when I was a kid. I had my PS2 that I would play for several hours, and then I would also get on my bike and I would ride for...
Just ride.
Miles and miles,
yeah.
So hopefully she'll have that same kind of balance because there are things, especially with the Switch now, my idea is for like her childhood video games wise to be pretty similar to my own. Because I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but when you're playing Mario Odyssey or Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart, it feels like Pokemon games. It feels like you're playing it feels the exact same as it did when you think about remembering it as a kid. And then you go play Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, and they suck. They're choppy, they're bad graphics, but you remember them the same as how you're looking at the game you're playing on Switch. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does.
So
you don't like realize at the time like
how bad it was.
Yeah.
And so if like some of her first video games are like the same as mine because they're still making these games after so many years, then that would be a really special thing because also we would obviously play them together and what have you. My biggest goal in life is to have a family with several children that we're playing games together, whether it's board games, video games. My biggest dream is to DM Dungeon Master for my children. Run little campaigns for my kids. You know, I think that would be amazing.
That would be cool.
And like, imagine like a game night. We're all playing freaking Mario Party.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, something really special about that. It's all the same shit that I did when I was a kid. Yeah. But now it's with my little tykes instead of.
Would you say like you did that with your family though?
No.
Yeah, that's and I can't say like me either.
I never did with my I did with like my brother sometimes.
Yeah.
And like cousins.
Yes.
But not my dad. Never my dad. My parents never played video games.
Did you guys play like board games as a family ever?
No.
Really interesting. Yeah. Really interesting.
No, we didn't play a ton of video games together, and I think that we would have been a lot better off for that. Like if we had a lot of things, but also, maybe your cause and effects are almost like a snake eating its own tail kind of thing. We don't play because there's tension. There's tension because we don't play type of deal. But my parents, their generation is so different. Like our generation, we will play with our kids instead of let our kids go play while we are just working or just doing like the adult responsible shit.
Yeah.
Our generation in our late 20s, early 30s are still young at heart. My parents have always seemed like the old people. And maybe that was just in my own head, but my dad wasn't playing games and stuff. He was like going to work, come home, watch the news, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like your typical dad. And that was like...
I feel like dads just watch TV, right? That's the thing, you know?
You know?
But do you feel like you watch TV to like...
I'll watch, but it kind of depends. Like, I feel like I get into cycles where like sometimes I'm playing playing video games for a long time, and then I'll go and I'll get on a movie kick where I'm trying to watch all the Mission Impossibles, and then I'm like, oh, I find Breaking Bad, so that's all I'm consuming for the next few weeks or whatever. So I go through cycles. I'm not like you get home, I'm always doing this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like I also will like to like still hang with friends, still play games with friends, have friends over, play a board game, you know, whatever. My parents never had that, you know? Like my parents never had friends over.
Yeah.
They like rarely had company at all.
I feel like neither did mine.
It's so weird. So that is like, that's also like, obviously I want my kids to have their friends too.
Yeah.
Because I guess as a kid, I would have rather have gone to hang with my friends than hang with my family. But there was also always some kind of tension somewhere. Somebody was always mad at somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and that could turn into a big thing, or it could be nothing at all, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't want, like, Jess and I get along so good, and we have, like, I don't know.
Schnikes.
But, yeah, I don't know. And we just don't take everything so seriously. Like, it feels like our parents' generation took everything way more seriously than our generation does. Feels like...
Yeah.
And not like we don't take anything seriously, but we just don't take everything like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know, like everything really ain't that big of a deal. It's going to go away in the next day or two.
Yeah.
So, like...
And like, I don't know. I feel like that is... It's easy to generalize by like generation, but I feel like it's just kind of like the people like we've know and like we've surrounded ourselves with.
That's true.
It seems like I feel like everyone, like all my friends at least, are pretty easygoing.
True.
You know, but like I know people like my age who are like,
Sticks
"Did you see about this? Did you see about this?"
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They got their little checklist of responsibilities. That's the thing. We still take care of our like responsibilities.
Yeah.
You know.
But like I don't like, I don't know. Like I've always had the mindset like I don't want to concern myself with things that are out of my control.
Definitely.
But also like I feel like, yeah, I don't know. That's just me though.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I think it's a good thing, but I
definitely
think it can get bad.
It can be bad. Like, well, for example, that storm last night. That was all out of my control. And I'm always trying to be like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's in God's hands. He'll do his thing. And no matter what, if we sit here and freak out, oh, these are going to be tornadoes galore. This is the worst tornadoes we've ever seen. The meteorologists saying stupid shit like that. And like, if we freak out and panic, it's the exact same thing is going to happen as it would if we kept a cool head, relax, and just kind of enjoy our time that we have. Well, Jess was panicking, and I was trying to keep it cool, and I was scared too, but I was keeping it cool. And it's like, we're down here in the basement. We're in the only room of the house that's like underground, so that if the house does get ripped away, at least we'll try to be underground when it does.
Yeah.
I got desks in there that we can get under if stuff starts to collapse. You know, like if it gets to that point, we should be fine. But, like, not concerning yourself with things you can't control might include well, let's go. We'll just hang out upstairs, hang out on the couch, you know, and pretend there isn't a friggin' giant storm out there.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's out of my control, but I am going to control the things that I can. I'm going to get my ass in the basement now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get down there with my baby, my animals, you know, like, and we packed everything into this little room, and, like, it rained.
Yep, that's it.
And then we went back upstairs.
At least here.
Obviously, there were some pretty bad tornadoes. Some people got hit pretty significantly. Yeah. But almost nothing happened here. We had a few. It didn't even get rain. There was not even any rain on our porch. Our porch has that overhang, and anytime it rains, if it rains enough, the porch will get wet. The porch didn't get wet, not a drop. I'm like, man, it barely even rained. It was windy as all get out. We had to go.
As all get out.
I went out to Webster with Mikey.
Okay.
And grabbed some furniture from my auntie. And when I left, the weather was fine. It was starting to get a little windy. I'm like, man, I felt that wind, and I'm in a truck.
Yeah. I was driving on the highway, too, and it was like...
Yeah.
I was going, like, 80. But anyway, yeah, like, it kind of jerks your car a little bit. It's sketchy a little bit, but, like, I don't think it would flip anything over.
No.
Not at those winds.
No. And then we loaded the truck up, and we're driving home, and now it's, like, really windy. So I slow down. I'm taking my time. But now I'm out later, and Jess is home alone with the baby, and she can hear all the wind.
Yeah.
She can hear everything. Yeah. And I'm like, man. So, like, I was trying to hurry home, but I also didn't want to be stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a balance.
Yeah. And it turned out I just shouldn't have even done that yesterday. I should have done it this morning.
Okay.
But, like, fast forward to now, it saved me that extra. It probably took us 2-3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 2-3 hours Friday, like, afternoon, evening, instead of, like, Saturday afternoon, evening, which I guess is pretty much the same when it comes to free time. But I like, if I have things to do on the weekend, I like to get them done at the beginning of the weekend so that I have more time to chill at the back end. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that like...
Yes.
Okay.
Does it not seem like it makes sense to me?
Because I can slow it down and say it again verbatim if I have
to. No, it makes sense. Do you feel... Can you, like, sense when you're talking? And do you, like, sense when someone spaces out?
Yes, but I don't actually get that feeling from you.
Okay.
When I do that, I'm playing around.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good because I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it does happen.
You're spacing out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
But that's like my attention span.
I also don't always pick up if somebody's spacing out.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't pick it up when you do.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you listened to the block of ice thing and you said some things went over your head. That's impossible.
What do you mean? Like
a block of ice at 1 degree above freezing.
I just didn't know.
There's no reading between the lines. There's nothing that you can miss about that.
That's fair.
But last time you were also like crazy tired.
Yeah, I had like 1 hour of sleep last time.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
Did we break down what happened? Or why I got 1 hour
of sleep?
Was it
the Bingo Loco?
Yeah.
I think we talked about that.
Okay.
I don't know, though. You said you listened to the episode. I don't have a good memory.
That's fair.
Everything we're talking about right now,
yeah.
When you leave, I won't remember it. Until I hear the episode, and then I'll think about it. But I did actually remember a little bit more about the one that we did with Steve because there was more that we had to sort of edit out, and there was more like...
Yeah.
Steve and I, at the beginning, were arguing about the shared universe thing.
Oh, yeah. With Sonic.
Yeah, and it's like, the whole time I'm like, I'm having this argument, and I'm like, I'm right right now. I've never been so certain that I'm correct about a thing.
Yeah.
But then when I said shared universe, he's like, oh, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
okay. It was like both. It was weird.
There was just like a weird disconnect.
Reading back, or like, yeah. I don't know. Like you guys like were like arguing for the same thing almost.
Right.
It was weird.
But like after we got done recording and I was just here, you guys had both left. I'm like, man, I almost don't know if I want that argument to end up on the internet because my recollection of it was like so much.
Yeah.
Felt like I remembered it being so much more hostile than it was.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Jess watches the episodes.
Yeah.
And she was watching it, and it got to the point where Steve and I started arguing about a shared universe.
Yeah.
And I started cringing. I'm like, I don't want to fucking see this part, man. And then I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad at all.
Yeah. It's always like not as bad as you think it is, I feel like. But also, I feel like it kind of like depends on like who you're talking. Like, I feel like
I almost yoinked this.
Yammed it out.
Yeah.
Give it a little shimmy up, just a little bit.
Meaning?
Like the plug.
Oh, I did yoink it.
Connected.
Wow, I fucking yoinked it. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, nice. I think it just like fixed itself.
Weird. Or I did it.
Yeah, you just spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got like 10 minutes in me.
Okay. I feel like I'm peeking.
5 to 10. Speak again.
Speak again. Now you're peeking.
What? Is the front facing you?
No, you're peeking on yours down low.
Little did they know, they were peeking all episode.
Say what?
No, I don't think. Oh, now I'm peeking.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But now I'm not.
All right, we're good. Hey, let's continue.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell we were talking about.
Before you yoinked, something was yoinked.
I yoinked it.
Flip it. Yeah. I was going to sing
How
something.
about this?
How now, brown cow?
When someone is bald, invariably, especially if they're unlikable, somebody with a group of friends, what have you, will say, "Oh, I don't like him. He looks like a thumb." And everyone will laugh so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen this happen in real time, in real life, in the universe?
What specifically? Like, he looks like a toe?
Yes.
I feel like, yeah. At some point, you sure.
I hate that
Why?
joke. Because it doesn't matter who you say it about, whether it's true or not. If you say they look like a thumb or a toe, everybody will just laugh.
Yeah.
It's like an easy insult that you know is going to get laughs.
I feel like
I've seen people say, "You look like a thumb." People have said that to me. "You look like a thumb."
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. I don't look like a fucking thumb.
Yeah.
I am built weird. I'll agree to that. But a thumb?
Come on.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
Sure.
But I just I never think it's funny.
It's like you stand up and it's just like
I have the weird arch and fucking.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's funny.
You don't.
But everyone always laughs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like cheap. It's cheap.
It's a cheap. Yeah. I feel like I don't know. It's kind of like I feel like fat jokes could be like the same. I feel like there's just like go tos that like everyone just like you know.
Right. It's hacky.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's hacky.
I feel like there's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not one to like roast someone. So like, I don't really have like a go-to, but I feel like you could be a little more creative maybe.
Right.
You
I
know?
love to roast people.
Yeah.
I love it. And I like to get roasted.
You want to have a little roast battle?
Have a little roast off?
Sure.
Hey. Look at me. I'm Caleb Noble.
Okay.
I roasted you, dude. Get fucking torched, dude.
Let me think.
Get fucking torched. Go ahead. I can take it.
Dude. Oh. Whoa. I don't know. I feel like we're just like trying to imitate each other, yeah. Like an impression.
That was funny. I liked that.
All right.
No, that was actually.
That wasn't even like. It was just like you be me, I be you.
That was. Fucked up.
Too far.
You shouldn't have done that.
I don't even like when people call me toe.
You really shouldn't have done that.
You crossed the line. Balls in your court.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't.
All right, we could call it with that.
I think I won. What do you know? Oh, you know what?
What?
I'm torn between two subjects. I don't know which one because we're probably about to wrap it
Probably
up.
the briefer subject.
The briefer of the two.
You could save the next one.
Formula One
Racing?
racing. Okay, so you know about it.
Do tell.
You're familiar in some way.
Yeah, like Lightning McQueen.
Okay, so you're not familiar at all.
I
thought Lightning McQueen just did the circles.
Yeah.
That's like NASCAR.
Oh, it's like Formula One, like Daytona and like driving through cities?
No, Formula One. Well, I guess. Well, it's tracks. It's like race tracks. It's not like a.
Oh, is it a
city.
game?
No. Formula One is probably
Doc Hudson?
the closest like real life thing to Mario Kart.
Oh, okay.
So obviously there's not like consequences. They're not throwing banana peels and turtle shells.
Could you imagine if there was like
They're not throwing fucking bombs at each other.
freaking dynamite?
People spin out lightning bolts.
I would watch that.
I would too, but it is like those little tiny like low to the floor cars that are like woo, you know, and they go like 200 plus miles per hour.
Really?
And like sometimes people crash and like people have died.
Oh, that just occurred to me. Yeah, so like NASCAR, they're just cars. But what you're talking about, they're like almost like shuttles and
they're
just
like little go-karts, but
yeah,
the fastest cars.
Yeah.
You know? Like so I recently like am getting into it. It's so interesting. It's becoming my whole identity.
Your full
I'm
dad
wearing a Ferrari shirt. Ferrari is one of the teams. It's been weird to learn.
Ford v Ferrari.
There's no Ford, but there is like Red Bull has two guys, Mercedes has two guys, Ferrari has two guys, Aston Martin, McLaren. There's like a bunch of teams.
Dynaco.
No Dynaco. The Piston Cup. There's like teams of two. I guess there's 10 teams of two because there's 20 racers, but there's the team aspect versus the individual aspect, kind of similar to like wrestling in a way, but also they're competing against each other. Like if I'm on your team, I still want to take first.
Oh.
And ideally, I take first, you take second.
Yeah.
You know, in my perfect world, but in your perfect world, you take first, I take second, even though we're on the same team. So there's like kind of weird drama to it too. So they ended up making like a documentary series on Netflix called like Drive to Survive or something.
Yeah.
And you get to like know the drivers a little bit more. So I haven't watched any of that, but I went back and I watched some like Formula One top 10s, like highlight videos and stuff. Top 10 wrecks, top 10 overtakes, which is like when somebody passes somebody, stuff like that. And kind of broke down like who's been winning lately and who's been kind of middle of the pack or almost winning or whatever. And that's how I decide who I'm going to be rooting for going forward. Because there's no Americans. It's all like international.
Yeah.
Like the first race is tonight at 11 p.m.
Of this season?
Of this season. So it's a season that is like 9 months out of the year. There's like 1 to 3 races a month. Grand Prix, which is interesting that it's called a Grand Prix.
Are they like in Europe, like these races?
All over the world.
That's cool.
So the first one, round 1 of the 2025 season, is in Australia.
Sweet.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't remember where round.
Yeah, that is like Mario Kart. I feel like.
Yeah, because they'll come to the U.S. too. There's like one in Miami.
Okay. It's just like. As far as you know, like there's not like a United States team.
There's not a United States racer. And it's not as far as I know. There just isn't one. There was a couple years ago.
Okay.
But he's not doing it anymore. But yeah, so if there was any US guys, I would just like instantly root for that person. But there aren't any. So I had to kind of figure out like the guys that I'm rooting for are both. It's basically I'm rooting for Team Ferrari. they got a guy named Lewis Hamilton, who is like one of the like winningest racers ever, but he's had like a rough few years.
Winningest.
Huh?
Go on.
Winningest, yeah.
It's okay.
And Charles Leclerc, who
Leclerc,
who the best he's ever done is second place. And Ferrari always gets beat by Red Bull.
Damn.
So if I would have known a little bit less information, I would have always rooted for Red Bull. But apparently they've been winning a ton lately. I don't want to come in rooting for the top people.
Right.
But Ferrari is usually like a top 3.
And these are just like the teams are brands? Like Ferrari, like Red Bull, the drink?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but most of them are car companies. Like It seems like Red Bull is the only one that...
I wonder what other like brands they have as teams.
There's, like I said, there's Mercedes, Aston Martin, McLaren, Ferrari, and then there's like a few that I don't know what they are. Yeah. Williamson or something like that. I don't remember the rest, but Ferrari's usually in the top 3, but they never win. So I'm kind of rooting for Ferrari.
Yeah, it could be their time. Yeah, you want them to get that finally.
So there's 2 championships at the end of the season. There's like 19 to 25-ish races. The top 10 all get points, just like Mario Kart. First place gets the most, 10th place gets the least, and then everybody after that gets none. Mm-hmm. And there's other criteria to get points. But at the end of the season, whoever has the most points wins.
Gotcha.
Individual. There's a racers championship and a constructors championship. Constructors are the teams.
Okay.
So it'll be like the team that has the most points. So if I have if I'm Ferrari and my guy took second and third, they got, for example, 200 and 195 points. Red Bull took first and 9th, and he got 250 and 100. So my guy took first, but we had 350 points.
Yeah.
These two that took second and third had close to 400. So Ferrari wins.
Yeah.
The constructors. But
yeah, it's just like
a Red Bull
team at a tournament. You know?
A Red Bull racer won the individuals, and Ferrari won it as a team.
Okay.
So
that's kind of cool how there's like a team dynamic to it. It's not just individuals.
Yeah. So I'm kind of excited. I'm getting into it right at the beginning of the season. So first race tonight, and hey, I'll report back.
Please do. Who got you into it?
A podcast I was listening to.
Nice.
They were talking about it a bunch, and I'm like, man, UFC's been boring me lately.
Yeah.
Football season is over. I'm not.
Yeah, it might be a new thing.
Just a new thing.
I'll look into it briefly.
Yeah. And that's it for episode 30.
30,
dude.
We're done.
We're done.
You want to thank the band? Called,
the band.
Yep.
Thank you.
Very good stuff.
The band. Bye.
Bye.
The dude in the bye.